Alrighty then, folks. We made it through another week. Let's see what happened in the market. First thing I'm going to do is smoke some weed. And I encourage you all to do the same unless you're not into that. I'm not here to pressure you. So anyway, the first thing we see is this week on SPY, we closed underneath, we fell underneath this bull market support band, but we closed above it. Now this bull market support band is nothing crazy. It's just a combination of the 21-week SMA, the 21-week EMA and the 20-week SMA. So it's just a combination of these two, and typically what happens in a bull market is this is usually held as support. This is normally the biggest buy the dip opportunity in the market during a bull market. As you can see here, when we started selling off for 3 weeks straight, all we did was come down, and what we did was just hold this bad boy as support, right? We just held it as support right here for 2 weeks, and then we started another leg up, right? Now this time we fell underneath it, but we came up and closed above it. So this is fairly bullish for the market. What the bulls want to see happen next week now is come down, test it again, and then so what I want to see is we come down, test it again, and then we can start another leg up, right? Another thing I'd like to bring your attention to here is we are still in a bullish cross on these EMAs. What I mean by that is if you look right here, at this point, right before this bull market started, the bull market support band crossed underneath the 9-week SMA, right? Normally when that happens, we start a bull market. We start an entire rally up, and that's exactly what happened. We got the cross, and we haven't looked back since, right? Now the opposite is true as well, though. If we come back here, we can see that the start of the bear market, we had a crossover where the bull market support band crossed over the 9-week SMA, and we started a pretty large downtrend, right? Up until right here, probably this bottom, this entire area right here, we just accumulated here, or rather big money accumulated here for a while, and then we started a rally up, and then if you can see what happened here, we started bull flagging right here, right? We broke out of the bull flag, the EMA's crossed, and we haven't looked back since, right? The same thing happened on our last bull market. We got the COVID crash, we came up, and then we got the bullish cross under, and this started the COVID bull market. I'm sure you guys all remember that. It was pretty fantastic. This is actually when I started trading during the whole crypto boom, this whole first bull market. So I was involved in this whole thing, and it was fantastic, guys. It was awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't accumulate it as nearly as I wanted down here for my long term, but I'll be ready next time. Alright, so let's move on to the Qs and see what we got. So for the Qs, it's looking slightly more bearish, right? On the Qs, we fell underneath the bull market support band, came back up, and we haven't even tested it yet. So what I'm expecting to happen, what I would like to see happen, is next week we come back up, test this bull market support band. At the same time, ES will be coming down and testing its bull market support band. And once that happens, what I want to see happen is we break through and start another leg up. But if this rejects and ES does if ES rejects its bull market support band at the same time, then I'll be a little bit more bearish. But I won't be truly bearish until we get the crossover. If the 9 EMA crosses under and the 21 EMA crosses over the 9 EMA, then I'll be looking a little bit more bearish. But until then, my bias is still towards the long side. Of course, I'll just play the price action as it's presented to me. And it looks like my cat wants to say hi again. Hi, Peach. Alright, that's enough. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's move on to our futures here. ES. Now ES probably has a very bullish setup here. This is the first time I'm looking at this candle, and this actually looks pretty nice to me. We put in this morning star. As soon as we fell underneath the bull market support band, that's when big money, I'm assuming, started buying up. Because this isn't, I mean, this is, again, I think this is a buy the dip opportunity. This might be the biggest buy the dip opportunity the market has given us in this in this bull market. So, I am expecting, especially with this candle here, I mean, this is a classic Morningstar pattern. See, happen, a Morningstar candle happened right here. We started to leg up. See if we can find another one. Here's another Morningstar, started to leg up. And this is a huge Morningstar, so I am expecting this Morningstar to push us to at least all-time highs, right? And we'll see how we act towards all-time highs. It's not going to happen tomorrow or anything. I'm expecting back to all-time highs maybe in September or closer to September, because that's when interest rates are going to start cutting. And typically interest rates, even though the narrative might be bullish, the chart tells me that interest rate cuts are normally bearish. What happens during interest rate cuts a lot of times is we just start in the median downtrend, or rarely we'll start a huge rally to the upside, but ends up getting faded pretty quickly, and a lot of buyers get trapped up there, and we start a bear market. So my plan is to ride this, or just watch until here, until all-time highs, and then we'll start seeing if there's any sort of rejections, or we continue higher, or whatever. But until then, we are just stuck in this range, probably from here to here, right? Alright, let's look at the NQs and see what the NQs is telling us. The NASDAQ also put in a pretty bullish candle. So ES and NASDAQ put in a really nice Morningstar that held this support right here. That weekly swing low that I told you guys about in yesterday's video, this is where we bounced off of. So all we did was come down and hold this support right here, right? At 17,402. The strength of this move up and this Morningstar does make me believe we're going to go and test all-time highs again eventually. Probably sometime in September. The market, will see how the market reacts to interest rate cuts, and we can either continue make another leg higher, or we come up, buyers get faded, and we start a bear market. All right, that looks good. I mean, honestly, it looks good for upside. I am going to be biased towards the upside next week until I am proven wrong. NQ also fell underneath its bull market support band, and it also has a long way to go before it tests it. Right now it's sitting at 19,058 roughly, so it's about 500 points away, 400 points. So yeah, I can totally see that go up 400 points, test it for a while. ES's testing is, while SPY's testing is. So next week is going to be very important for the bulls, guys. If the bulls can break over this bull market support band and hold that bad boy, then yeah, we will for sure be heading up probably towards 21,000 in the very near future. All right, so I'm gonna hit this weed again, and let's move on to the daily. Excuse me. So let's move on to the daily. Now, if you watched my video yesterday, what I said happened, right? I said what's most likely is going to happen is we're going to bust through this EMA, because on the daily, the story of this bull market has been anytime there's a nice bearish setup on the daily, it gets faded pretty quickly, right? Like, I brought this up yesterday. We came down, put in this bear flag type pattern, and then we dumped some more. Typically, I only expect one bear flag before accumulation for the next leg up. So I'm not expecting much downside for a while here. Next up, we have this 8 EMA above head that corresponds with this supply zone. A possible scenario is we come up, test this. I'm sorry, this isn't the 8. This is the 50 rather. We can come up, test this. If we break through this 50, well, at the same time ES is breaking through its major EMAs. So as you can see, guys, next week is going to be a story of these EMAs, right? We're coming up to really important EMAs on all the indexes and all the ETFs, right? SPY is coming up to its 50. ES is testing its bull market support band. Like, a lot of stuff is happening next week that's going to probably give us a really clear indication about what's going to happen next in the market. All right, here's the QQQ. Similar setup here. We busted through the 9 EMA, and we're coming up to the 100, and then the next one is the 50. So it does have a lot of resistance above head, but with ES and NQ putting in morning stars and SPY and QQQ busting through this EMAs on the daily, it does make me think we're going to go test all-time highs in the near future. Let's check out the ES and NQ daily candles. Okay, now the ES daily candle is slightly more bearish. We came up today and it looks like we got rejected by the 100-day EMA. We also got rejected by this 0.5 Fibonacci. We also got rejected by this daily supply zone. So that is 3 points for the bulls right there on ES. But again, I'm sorry, 3 points for the bears. But again, you know, bears tend to get squeezed, and I am thinking that we're going to squeeze. The only thing that I really don't like here is this volume, and we'll go onto the SPY to see a little bit more clearly, because I don't really trust the volume on futures because of the contract roller and all that good stuff. But to me, if I was trading this on a 3-minute time frame, I would be looking short. The reason being is, yeah, we're moving up, but look at the volume on this move up. Like this initial pop, huge volume, and I would expect this to follow through as we're busting through this EMAs, but volume is getting really low here, and that is, I mean, in my opinion, that's very bearish. This, to me, on a 3-minute, is the perfect setup for a short, right? So what I mean, if this was a 3-minute, I would be looking for any kind of rejection up here, probably in this supply zone, to get short. But this is the daily, and anything can happen, you know, anything can happen. And really, that's really the only point for the bears. Yeah, but honestly, guys, this volume on this push-up right here is very low. That's the only thing that's worrying me. And volume is my top key indicator. You know, volume doesn't lie. You can't break levels without volume. And even this whole move up was on a really low volume, and I kept saying this move up feels really fake. If you guys day trade and you were day trading it, guys, this trading environment, this low volume trading environment on this move up, it was a fucking nightmare. It's actually the biggest reason why I took a break, because I mean, at all-time highs, price action is, honestly, it's ass cheeks. So I pretty much stood aside until we got this rejection and we started hitting some zones, and then I started trading again. Yeah, around here, around all-time highs. Yeah. So yeah, it could go either way. To next week is going to be very important. I do believe next week we're going to get a clear indication on what's going to happen next in the market. My bias is towards the upside, but again, I'm a day trader, so I'm just going to play the price action as it's presented to me. Yeah. Alright, let's keep going here. Let's go intraday and see what happened today. I only took one trade today as well, because I recognized right off the bat that it was going to be very low volume environment. Let's see here. I'll pull up the volume right now so you guys can see. I'm sure it'll be the same on a 10-minute. Right. So this is, oh my god, this is ridiculously low volume, guys. So right off the bat at 6:30, we only have 1.78 million shares traded on the 10-minute in the first 10-minute candle. Guys, I'm trading on the 3-minute, and normally the 3-minute has like 2 million volume, roughly, like 1.52 million volume shares traded right off open. So it took 10 minutes for SPY to trade 1.78. So that's right off the bat. I know that today's going to be a very low probability, low volume environment that I probably don't want to be a part of. So luckily, I just took the one trade today, and I'll show you guys that here in a second. But I mean, the 10-minute looks like a pretty clear uptrend, but if you guys watched it, it was really slow, really, really tricky price action. So I am glad I only took one trade. On Qs, you can see that today was actually very, very tricky on the 10-minute, right? I mean, we opened up, immediately rallied up, and then immediately sold off. So 10 minutes of rallying, 10 minutes of selling off, 10, 20 minutes of rallying, 20 minutes of selling off, 30 minutes of rallying, bear. I mean, you can see just off this 10-minute that today was really, really tricky. The best setup was right here. This failed breakdown of the weekly 618. And then we moved up. But yeah, it wasn't very. Today's price action was just hot dog water. Yeah, but that's typical for a Friday in my experience, especially Friday after lunch. You know, the saying on Wall Street is if you're if you're trading on Friday after lunch and you're likely red on the week, and I am not red on the week, so miss me with that bullshit. Okay, so let's go over my trade recap today. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, if you guys watched my pre-market plan yesterday, I had two possible scenarios. I did not want to take a trade in this middle zone right here, so that's why I completely left it. I wanted it down here, right? I said, if we come down, consolidate, or get a failed breakdown in this area, I'll get long. And that didn't happen overnight. It happened right here. This is where I took my trade. Right here, 5:30 in the morning. So we're selling off, selling off, selling off, selling off. And I could have taken a trade right here, but the bear flag right before, you can see all these selling wicks, rejecting, rejecting. Then we came down, and this does look like a failed breakdown pattern, but there was no volume to back it up, right? We come down here, and I'll even show you the volume. Right here, right? So this failed breakdown, it wasn't backed up by volume. The failed breakdown that was backed up by volume, and we coming down, bang, right here. Failed breakdown of the pre-market level that I gave yesterday. This is where I said I wanted my longs at, and that's where I took them. So we got the failed breakdown. I got in right here. I put it in the stop right here. And I took my first scales at the top of this zone, and then I sat and waited for this bull flag to play out. Next leg up, I got out right here at this point of control. And that was completely out, and that was my only trade for the day. So it was roughly like, what, 10, 16 points roughly? So from here to here, my first scale was 10 points. After that, right here, from here to here, 16 points, I believe. That's from 21 to 39, so probably a little bit more. Again, I'm bad at math, so get used to it. And yeah, that's it. That was the only trade I took today. I watched the price action on the 3-minute for the rest of the day, and as you can see, it wasn't very good. Lots of wicks on either side. This is a pretty good failed breakdown setup, but honestly, with the way the price action was going, I probably wouldn't have taken it. Look, just a lot of barcoding. Barcode, we got a lot of barcoding, got a lot of barcoding. So yeah, I don't really like to trade barcodes, and barcodes typically mean we're gonna have shitty price action and yeah, low volume. It was just bad, guys. I did want a live trade today, but I just realized that my OBS software cannot handle live trades, or my computer can't handle live trades. So if you guys want me a live trade, let me know in the comments or send me a message or something. If you guys do, I'll just buy a new laptop. It's not a problem. But the laptop I'm using now just can't handle streaming to YouTube, I guess. I did the video yesterday, and yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it just kind of is super duper laggy, and that's because I streamed it the entire time. So I won't be doing that anymore. This is just a recording that I'll post here. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. If you guys like it, let me know. If you don't, let me know, and I'll do better. Alright, have a good day, and trade safe.